Hey, welcome back to my channel, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving me another chance. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your time. I really appreciate you coming by again. In today's video, this week's video, we're going to talk about feeding ball pythons. This will be the only feeding video that you'll ever see on my channel. I don't condone feeding videos. I think it shows our hobby in a negative light. I think that we just don't want to show and glorify. I don't believe that part of the hobby. So you will be seeing some feeding videos on this video this week. You will not see a live feeding video. There will be no live rodents in this video. This video is all on how to feed your ball pythons frozen thawed rodents. And I have some notes that I prepared for today's talks so that I make sure I touch on the points that I want to touch upon. Number one, first thing I'll put out there is I've got about 100 ball pythons in my collection. I think with the babies now, it's about babies I've been hatching. I think I'm 105 or 106, something like that. Ball pythons in my snake room right now. Other than the babies that haven't started feeding yet, all 100 of them take frozen thawed rodents, mice or rats. I have no picky eaters. I have no hunger strikes. The only time I have a ball python go with food is maybe they're in shed or that female's gravid. They take the meal from me. I don't offer it to them. They come and take the rodents, and you will see that in the videos. And what you're also going to see is ball pythons with great feeding responses, and that, I think, the ball python has gotten a bad rap as a bad eater. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you a lot of successful frozen thawed rodent feeding. All of my hatchling ball pythons are started on mouse hoppers, frozen thawed mouse hoppers. And I'm going to attempt to feed and show you the babies in clutch number 1 being offered their very, very first meal. See if we can get a couple of them to start. So because I start all of my babies on frozen thawed mouse hoppers, I have snakes in my snake room that have never seen a live rodent. I don't know that they would know what to do with a live rodent. I have not had a live rodent in my snake room in over 5 years. There's a reason why I don't like to feed live. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm scared of rodent. I don't like them. I'm an animal lover, and me feeding live rodents to my snakes gives me so much anxiety, and I don't feel right about doing it. As an animal lover, I just don't feel right about feeding live. The other thing that I will mention about feeding frozen thawed, it's much safer for your snakes. Much, much safer for your snakes. I've never had a frozen thawed rodent bite or chew on any of my animals. You take that totally out of the equation when you feed frozen thawed. Again, like I said, I don't support feeding videos. It shows our hobby in a negative light. But with so much misinformation around ball python feeding, I could not keep quiet about what I found over the last 13 years of keeping and breeding ball pythons. In my opinion, we are way, way overfeeding our ball pythons. And that's the premise here today. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see ball pythons that aren't seeing rodents, aren't seeing a meal every 7 days or even every 14 days. I really don't have a schedule. And I feed my adult ball pythons on about every 4 weeks. They get a substantial meal, an adequately sized meal. That's what we're going to see today. I'm gonna be showing you mostly just feeding some animals. I'll be showing you feeding some mainly to females. And these will be medium rats that I'm feeding, medium frozen thawed rats that I'm feeding to basically adult females. And then you're going to see us try to start a collection with a feeding trial, and hopefully, if you have any questions at all about this, guys, put them in the comments, and I'll answer every one of them. I feed my adult animals, males and females, every 4 weeks. The only time I change that is for females when I want to breed them. About 2 months before I start pairings, I'll up the feed for the female, and I'll take her from every 4 weeks to every 2 weeks. And that upping the food stimulates, along with pairing, stimulates follicle growth in my collection. So I think that's it. The first clips you're going to see here, we're going to do feeding videos. We're going to do the feedings. All these rodents are all frozen thawed. There's no live feeding ever here. Okay, I would not put that on YouTube. So you're going to see them, strike and wrap the prey, and that's it. We won't be showing anybody consuming and swallowing any meals or anything like that. We just want to show you, I want to show you, when you stop feeding ball pythons so darn much that you really turn them into really good feeders. They're not bad feeders. They're just overfed. Give it a watch. See what you think. I'll see you in the middle for a get to know coach, and I'll give you at the end just to sum it up and say goodbye. I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Oh, yep, she's gonna shot. Here you go. Yep, she's gonna go. Here we go. Right here. Oh, she got it. There she is. And she's got it. Here she come. Here she come. Take it, girly. Okay, here she is. Well, she took it. Oh, no, this is my genetic stripe. There, she got one. Other way, butthead. There it is. There she is. She's decided she wants one. There she is. She ready. She ready. Oh, she got it. Well, she missed first. See that feed response? Your ball pythons have a feed response like that. Like, looking like she's ready. Let's see. She said sure. Yeah, she went to go get it. This one's ready to go. Yeah, she got her. Oh, she decided, why not? There she is. Oh, she's going to take one. There she is. Want it, girl? Oh, she said yeah. Oh, I think she'd like it. There it is. Want it? Oh, she's going for it. There she is. Think she wants one? Oh, she's going too. Where is she? Oh, she's back here under here. Let's see if we can get a shot of her. She'll come out here for it. Come here, baby. Come get it. Ah, there she goes. Oh, she's soaking. You soaking, baby? You want one of these? Oh, she does. She likes to be under paper. Oh, there she is. See her poking her head out? Mm-hmm. See, you want one, huh, baby? Come on. Here she goes. Oh, you want one? I think she wants one. What do you think? You do? There you go, girlie. Uh-huh. There she goes.
Your arm. Your arm was cut.
What you want one in?
I think you scared her.
Oh, what she'll take. Oh! Here she is, right here at the front. Back here and hide. There she goes. See her? She's ready. Over here. Oh, she missed. Want it? Oh, she don't want it. Watch her. She's right on top. You see her?
Yep.
She's gonna go. This is the mama of clutch number 2. Clutch number 2, I'll be showing you in the next video. We'll go over that one. So here she is already back on feed. You see her? Mm-hmm. Oh, she's gonna go ahead and take one in. Ready? Here. Oh! She's decided that's gonna need a hug. All right, guys. What we're hearing is welcome to another Get to Know Coach. And what we're gonna do today on this Get to Know Coach is I'm gonna give you some information about ball pythons, and why I do what I do, and how I've gone about doing this. You know, I didn't just one day say, hey, I'm gonna try to feed my ball pythons once a month. That's not how I did it. So again, I have some notes. You know, I can stay on topic and I don't go on any tangents. So here we go. In this segment, what I want you to do is I want you to take another look and really understand what's going on with your ball python when you feed it. And so I want you to understand your ball python's digestive system. They have a very slow metabolism. A slow metabolism means that they have a slow digestion process. As humans, we're not supposed to go swimming until 30 or 45 minutes after we've eaten, right? And that's because we have much quicker metabolism, much faster metabolism. We're going to process and digest our meals much quicker. When you feed your ball python, all of your ball python's organs enlarge after they take that meal. It takes 14 days for your ball python's digestive system to return to a relaxed state. 14 days. Now think about your feeding schedule. If you're feeding every 7 days, the ball python ain't even finished digesting last week's meal and you're trying to get them to take another meal. If you're feeding every other week, every 2 weeks, your ball python is still in a constant digestive function. Their body's just getting done working on it, and you stick another one in there. Okay? So you got to understand, your ball python, when it goes off of feed, it's not going off of feed because it doesn't want to eat. It's going off of feed because it can't keep up with your feeding schedule anymore. That's what they're doing. They're saying, I need to stop. Now, not every ball python will do this. Sure, there are outliers that are going to eat every stinking week. And that's not good for them. It's not good. It's too much. They're eating too much. They're overeating. And when we start talking about weight and the body condition of your ball python, because that's how I feed them based on their body condition. When they start looking like they need a meal, I feed them. The thing is it's much easier to put weight on your snake than to take weight off your snake. So you don't ever want your snake to get to where they're overweight, because to get them back into a healthy weight takes much longer than if you've got something. I do it all the time. I'll have a snake that I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, I just fed it about a week ago. It's still, I feel like it needs another meal. I can always feed a snake an additional meal. You can't unfeed snakes, okay? So my point is if you feed them with the premise of I'm just trying to maintain their body condition, right? So we talk about maintenance feeding. That's what feeding's supposed to be. You're maintaining your healthy body weight. You're maintaining that animal's healthy body weight. It's maintenance feeding. We always poo-poo maintenance feeding, but that's how a healthy person or a healthy animal feeds, right? They feed on a regular basis, but they feed on an interim that isn't going to cause them to be overweight. Ball pythons are very, very susceptible to what's called fatty organ disease. And when they call it fatty organ disease, it could be their liver, could be kidney, could be heart. Because a ball python, they don't have extremities. They don't have limbs. The only place they have to store fat is in their body cavity. That's all they got. We have arms and legs and things like that, a lot of us, butts and guts and things, where we store our fat as humans. So your ball python is very susceptible to fatty organ disease. How many times have you heard a story from somebody in this hobby that says, I looked in their cage, I went to their cage a couple days ago, they are fine, no problems, no issues, looked great, husbandry, everything was good. I go back there 2 days and open the cage, the snake is belly up, dead. I don't know what happened. I do. I know what happened. Most likely, and I'm not saying in every case, but most likely, they had some sort of organ failure. Probably because they're too darn fat. And that's why you thought everything looked great, everything looked good, they looked like they did yesterday, like they did last week, and 2 days later, they're no longer living. Some sort of organ failure took that snake's life. And probably a fatty organ disease, some sort of fatty tissue disease. You got to understand, your ball python's a long-lived animal. There is a record out on the internet, and I could put it in here, but I'm not that good at this yet, so I'm still figuring stuff out. There was a 40-year-old, documented 40-year-old ball python at a zoo that laid a clutch of eggs. A female laid a clutch of eggs at 40 years old. I've been in this hobby 13 years. And when I started in this hobby, lots of people were breeding lots of ball pythons. So where are they all? Where did all of those ball pythons go 13, 14, 15 years ago that are like 14, 15 years old? Because 12 or 13 years old, if they're breeding, they're probably a couple years old already. So 12, 13 years ago, you're looking at 14, 15-year-old ball pythons. I want to know where the 15-year-old ball pythons are. Where are all those 14, 15-year-old ball pythons that were being bred 13 years ago when I started in this hobby? There was tons of them. Where are they? And I'm not looking for everybody to come, well, I have a 12-year-old. I have this one. I have... The oldest ball python I have in my collection is 2013, I think, was when it was born. So it's 13 years old. And I have several. I have several of my adults that are around 10 years old. That's what I started with. Those were my founder animals. So ask yourself, where are all these older ball pythons? They're long lived. They should live 40 to 50 years in captivity. At least 30 to 40 is what I read on the internet. If your husbandry is correct, you should get 30 to 40 years of life out of that ball python. The reason we're not, guys, is because we're overfeeding them. And they're fat, and they die before they're 20 years old of some sort of fatty organ disease. So anything in this world is not healthy to be obese. I'm a little obese myself. I'm a little heavy myself. And I can tell you, I feel much better and much healthier when I'm at a lighter weight, at a healthier weight. I have more energy. I feel better. I sleep better. Just everything in life is better when my weight is down. And I've had times in my life when I've had my weight, what I feel like was at a healthy level. Multiple different times in my life. Right now, I feel like I'm a little too heavy. I'm about 340 pounds. And I do much better when I get down around 300 pounds. So understand, your snake's like that too. It feels better when it's in a more healthy weight, and it's going to live longer and have a better life with a more healthy weight. So that's what I have this week in Get to Know Coach. These are the reasons and why I've gone to going to 4 weeks with my adults. Like I said, I didn't do this and just say I went from 7 days to feeding every 4 weeks like that. No. First, I was feeding every week, and then I tested it, and I started feeding every other week. And I started feeding every other week, and I was still getting the clutches, and my animals still looked great, and everybody was doing fine. So I pushed it to 3 weeks for my adults. Again, nothing really changed, other than my snakes started looking a lot better and are able to move a lot better and just looked like they felt more comfortable. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to push it to 4 weeks. And I think that's about where you want to be, about every 4 weeks. My animals, every 4 weeks, I'm feeding them an adequately sized meal. They're still looking really good. I still feel like they're healthy looking animals. You've seen in the video where I've said, you know, hey, maybe this is an animal maybe I need to get an extra meal for. You know, and then I feed my grow up stuff about every other week. Until it's around 1,000 grams, 900 grams, 800, maybe 600 grams for males. I back them off to every 4 weeks. I get females up to about 1,000 grams, 1,100 grams. I back them off to every 4 weeks. And I'm not in a hurry, guys. I'm not in a rush. Part of the thing is that we fed them every 7 weeks or every 7 days is because we realize they grow faster that way. And we can get them up to breeding size faster that way. But is that beneficial for the animal? Or does that just benefit you? Because you get to breed your animals, come up with babies, and now you've got something to sell. So why are we doing it? I'd like each of you that are in this hobby after seeing this video and finding out this information, if you didn't know this information, I challenge you. I challenge everybody out there in the ball python hobby to be better. Be more concerned with the animal's welfare than our bottom lines. That's what we need to do. When you're in an animal hobby and you're doing breeding animals like this, there's a level of responsibility that comes with it. There's a level of responsibility that comes with it. And I think that responsibility is to do right by the animals that you're working with. Not race yourself and get these animals, as grown up as quickly as you can. That's not healthy for the animal. It isn't. Because what happens in the animal is when it's growing, you're developing this fatty storage, this fat storage system. Just like kids like me. My parents fed me well. Right? And that's when you create your fat cells and your fat storage and start creating this problem. If we would start our kids and we would feed them healthier and keep them at healthy weights as young people, as children, we wouldn't have adults with so many adults with weight problems and overweight and being overweight. We'd be better. So we have the control, because our snakes aren't running down to the In-N-Out burger in between feedings. They're not cheating. We cheat. I know I do. When I'm dieting, I cheat. They have no way of cheating. They can't cheat. They get what you give. Think about what you're giving them. And when you feed your animals for the animal to maintain a healthy body condition. That's how you feed your animals. If you see something getting a little big, back them off a little bit. You see something getting a little too heavy or too thin, add some, give them an extra meal. It's so much easier to put weight on the snake than to take weight off the snake. It's better to just do it right from the onset and feed them correctly from the beginning. Now, I feed my hatchlings and my babies every 7 days, right? To me, it's a race to 250 grams. Once you get them at 250 grams, their ball python's pretty bulletproof. Pretty bulletproof, very forgiving animals. So, like I said, I like to try to get them up to about 200, 250. Once they hit about 250 grams, 300 grams, I back them off. They get fed every other week. And I slow grow them in a more natural way, a way they would grow if they weren't in captivity. I guarantee you, most females ain't making it to 1,500 grams in 18 months out in the bush. It's not happening. So that's what I got. I'm gonna get you back. We're probably here gonna go look at how I fared in my first food trials with the clutch number 1. I think that's what we're going to go to here. So give it a look, see if I was successful in getting any of these babies on food. I'll see you at the end for just sum it up and say goodbye. Thanks for watching again, guys. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Because you want to make sure that we get that tongue flicking. If the tongue don't flick, you ain't going to take it. Now remember, we might get a defensive strike. You want the head of that pinky pretty hot. See the tongue? See the tongue flick? See the tongue flick? Oh, that's its first meal, first offering. Frozen thawed hopper, first offer. Look at that. Let's try another one. Flicking. Tongue flicking. Show it to him a little. Gotta get that tongue to flick. There goes the tongue. There goes the tongue. You want to get that tongue. See the tongue flicking? Now he's ready. Don't want to scare him with it. He's flicking the tongue. Oh, look at that. 2 for 2, baby. 2 for 2. These snakes will never, ever see a live rodent. Isn't that cool? Tongue. See the tongue? Tongue. Tongue. Oh, we got a defensive bite. Oh, but she's going to wrap it. Look at, she's going to town with it. Oh, my God.
Okay, mistakes can happen.
Oh, who wants to? And it hasn't. Oh, it flicked. It flicked the tongue. Flicked it again. Flick it. Flick it. Flick it. There we go. Maybe. All right, that's going to do it for another video. I know this video was a little bit late. This was a lot of production and went into this one. Not to mention my rat orders, my rodent orders were late this week, so I had to push everything back like a full day, day and a half from what I had planned. So I got scrambling, got this out for you. I really appreciate you taking a look at it. But what you saw there is we fed almost 40 medium rats. Well, I fed off 40 medium rats. A couple of them didn't come out because when they would take the prey, I wouldn't have them in the frame. I was using one of those around the neck things that comes up and that's, I mean, it's a tool. But, you know, it makes it kind of rough. Yeah, I think you saw like 38, maybe 37 or 38 medium rats fed off. I had 2 animals not take. I didn't show those because they didn't take. One was the bottom in the closet, that bottom animal when I hit 3 and then I didn't do the bottom. She was in shed. And then I didn't show you, I have my pastel chocolate at hypo is gravid and she's off feed, but I always give a chance. I also have another female who I thought she's been off feed, hadn't taken the last 2 or 3 offerings, and then she took. And I'm like, okay, I thought she was about ready to pop with eggs. And she may. I've had females take a meal, like after not taking a meal for 1 or 2 times, and then have them take a meal, and then a week later they lay a clutch of eggs. So the strangest thing. Doesn't happen often, but it's happened to me 1 or 2 other times since I've been doing this. Also, you got to see us start 4 for 4 on clutch number 1. I still have to thaw out 1 more mouse hopper to finish off 5 for 5. But you know, I'll probably do that this evening and get those all up to speed. So that's it for this week. Like I said, this will be the only feeding videos you'll ever see on my channel. If you know people have questions about feeding, you know, through me, I'm always just going to point them to this video. And then next week's video, we are already planning to do an update on my clutch 2. Clutch 2 is hatched out. They're out of the eggs. They're still in the incubator. It was a 4-egg clutch. Kind of a test breeding, like I told you. I bought a animal that I thought was a low expression sugar, and so I wanted to see if I was right. So I put her to a blackhead male. So because blackhead and sugar are so reactive to one another. I just thought if it was a low expression and she threw low expressions, but you'll see the clutch next week's video. So look forward to that. That's it for today. Again, thanks for coming by my channel. I really appreciate it. And if you could subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks again. Have a great week.